Hi. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Saravna. I work as a PM for a top FANG company. So today I thought I'd let you guys know about how did I choose this career into product. So basically, to start off with, I was not the smartest kid or the brightest kid in school or college. Being that kid and then transitioning my career and then getting hired, being employed in a top FANG company, I just wanted to share my career pathing so that it could be beneficial for somebody who's looking to actually switch careers or trying to make sure that they can actually start their career in the right way. Ideally, grades in the paper don't matter that much. So I just wanted to put that across. Let's get straight into the video. Let me actually tell you guys about what are the mistakes, the learnings that I actually did when I chose this career. Maybe it would be beneficial for some folks who are watching the video as well. So let's get straight into the video. So I usually get a lot of questions like, Sarvna, what do you even do? What does a product guy do? Apart from having meetings blocked entirely in their calendars for weeks and for months and for days. Apart from that, what do you guys even do? So to start off with, product is actually a buzzy role out there in the market, and it's a well-recognized role within an organization, and it's a highly visible role as well. Obviously, if you're starting your career out and if you're trying to transition into product, it's obviously a very high-paying job in the tech market or in the e-commerce sector as well. So first things first, learning about PM. So growing up, எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் I knew that I couldn't code because என்னால வந்து code பண்ண முடியல. Nothing against my friends who are like top coders, because a lot of my friends are solution architects, Python developers, and top companies. It's nothing against them. When your friends try, you also want to try it out, right? So I also tried it for a brief period of time, but I couldn't even write a single line of code, so I quit. So I actually said that okay, fine, this is not my cup of tea. This is not what I'm going to do for the rest of my career. So I took that decision at a very young age itself. So what did I do? So I learned about products, and I actually switched from one company and got hired in a top FANG company in Chennai. I was solely responsible for a specific group of products. My job entirely handled what products should go on the catalog. Should I enrich them? Should I actually make sure that it's customer specific, or how can I enhance the user experience in the catalog overall? So that was my day-to-day job, and I had a lot of stakeholder communication, which helped me at that young age. So that's where everything took off, if I could say. I actually liked what I did because at the end of the day, I was resolving customer issues. I was very close to the customer, and us being people who actually purchase from the e-commerce world, I thought okay, fine, if I am a customer, how would I want this service to be? How would I want the catalog to be? So I had that thing in my head. Okay, fine, I would like to have a user experience like this, so that if I am a customer, I would want this and this in the product, or this and this in the user experience that I experience within the space and stuff like that. So I actually put myself in the shoes of the customer and then thought about this. So I really liked the way that I actually envisioned the job, and that's when I actually thought okay, fine, this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my career. This is how I wanted to actually path my career out, if I could say. So when I quit my job and I moved to Europe to do my masters, I stumbled upon product management again. So அங்க என்ன ஆச்சுன்னா, so a lot of my friends coding related jobs தான் போனாங்க. நம்ம லக்குன்னு சொல்றதா இல்ல நம்மளோட துரதிர்ஷ்டம்னு சொல்றதா என்னன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. நமக்கு வந்து ஒரு internship opportunity கூட கிடைக்கல. So I kept on trying. I was pretty persistent about the fact that okay, I wanted to get into a product company. I wanted to do something not service based, but actually work with products on the entirety of my career. So I actually waited it out. But a lot of people அதை வந்து பண்ணுவாங்களா என்னன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல, because I went at 25 to Europe to do my masters. By the time I finished my masters and looking out for an internship, I was around like 26, because I actually quit a very high paying job in Chennai and then moved to Europe. It was actually starting from scratch one again. Let's get into this. I was pretty persistent. I wanted to get into a product company, and luckily I landed up in another FANG company in Europe. I got an internship opportunity, work with them for a brief period of 6 months, dealt with product launches, I actually work closely on programs where features trying to enhance the customer experience in the catalog space and stuff like that. Luckily, after 6 months, I actually wrote my thesis with the top FANG company. I was really happy and about the fact that took my thesis as a project and then developed it. That was like a huge thing for me in my CV on the whole. Having said that, they liked the work that I did. They liked the project, so they offered me a role, but it was not related to project / program manager role. I actually got into that role. I was pretty happy about the fact that I was working with a top FANG company. I got all the perks working with a top FANG company, like you get the latest model mobile phones, you get the latest model electronic stuff that you could actually stock up in your houses and stuff like that. I was pretty happy at that point of time, but somewhere I felt like, okay, fine, did not like the role that I was doing, because it was actually, you have to manage your Jira boards, you have to like make sure that everything is like in progress and stuff like that. I was pretty not happy about the role. So what I did was I rang up my senior manager, who actually guided me during my thesis and who actually was my point of contact when I actually got into the organization. So I rang him up and I told him, hey, I'm interested in a product role that you guys are looking out for. My CV is more inclined to what previously did in all the other organizations. So is there a possibility for me to actually switch into that and then probably like work on it? That's when burst out of my shell and then ask something to someone like I want to switch. So I actually had that brief amount of conversation with my senior manager. So that brings me to my first tip. If you have the most foolproof plan, like to switch into product, is to try out whether there's an opportunity for you to switch internally. If there's an opportunity within your organization and where you have proved yourself, you can actually try and talking to your managers that you want to switch into product. I usually bring this up during my one-on-ones when there's a feedback discussion or anything of that sort with your senior managers or higher management. You can bring this up and probably like make the conversation into a constructive conversation or communication between both of you all. If your interests align to something else, you can probably let them know, and if they are on board with you, probably they will help you out with your career pathing as well. So that's the first tip that I would give. If you want to switch into product that you have interest towards, I personally think that you have to communicate that to your managers, that they would guide you or they would help you to make that switch internally, and then because you've already proved in the company, so that would be easier for you to actually prove it within the same organization in a different team altogether. That would be the first step. Coming back to what I did on the project and the feature work பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு PM யாருமே ஹையர் பண்ணல. I was put into that as a pseudo PM. So I was doing my project and program manager role, and I used to run and I used to do the PM role as well for the project that I put myself into. I was a pseudo PM and I had to write a PRD. PRD is something like a product requirement document. So that's the main thing for a product manager. I know there might be a question like, hey Sarana, feature launch பண்றதோ இல்ல வந்து அந்த ப்ராடக்ட் லான்ச் பண்றதோ அதுதானே மெயின் ஒர்க் ஆஃப் அ ப்ராடக்ட் மேனேஜர். அது கிடையாது. பட் ஆனா இந்த PRD மெயின்டைன் பண்றது தான் ஒரு முக்கியமான டாக்குமெண்ட். It will have all the things that a product manager has to list out first, the timelines, the ways that they want to like communicate or anything of that sort. All the information will be there in this document. This is where everything begins, is what I would say. I had the opportunity to talk to a lot of stakeholders like engineering teams, UX UI designers, data scientists, marketing teams, and track everything in the Jira. So Jira doesn't leave me if I also move to a different project. So Jira was there. Jira is a tool that everybody uses across. So we had to like plug in tickets on a regular basis and then make sure that is being tracked, and you as a product manager has to like follow up with all these folks and then make sure that this is being done within the specified timeline that you have actually predetermined, put into that document. Trust me, it's one of the most stressful things that you will ever do, because you are the main person that handholds the feature and everything of that sort. You have to make sure that everybody aligns with the vision that you have in your mind. Sometimes engineering won't accept. Engineering say this is out of my scope. UX will say that, hey, I can't actually design this feature. This is done with the ideology that you have. They will say a lot of things. So it's your duty. You need to own the stuff. Like, I want this. It needs to be done in this way. So you have to show your alpha self, if I could say. You have to like design it out, test it out, and then probably also get feedback from all the other folks that are working in the organization and get things up and running. After this handholding this project as a pseudo PM, I had the opportunity to prove myself that I did make the right choice of switching into PM. That was actually a huge learning curve for me, if I could say. In Europe and in a different country, without knowing the language, you're trying to communicate to different stakeholders. It's not an easy task, but yeah, I think that I fairly did okay within the role, because I got moved to the PM role completely. So I got to work closely on product launches for a brief 2.5 year time zone, if I could say. I was a part of all the successful launches within the fan company. But yeah, like it was like a learning curve for me, and it posed me to a lot of things that I was not aware of. Why product? Why did I choose product? Why didn't I actually choose something else? Like why didn't I choose project management? Why didn't I choose program management? Product role is something in the middle of user experience, tech and business. So as a product manager, what you do is that, as I told previously, it's basically like you have to make sure that if you are a customer, probably like if you go into a platform, if you go into use a product or anything of that sort, look and feel and the experience on the whole should actually be very smooth and easier on the eye and easier on the devices that the customer uses. When you are a customer, that's what I usually do. When you are a customer, when you try to like work with the product or work on the feature, personally think that I put myself on the customer's endpoint. If I am a customer, I would probably do it. That would actually make sure that, okay, I am actually traveling in the correct path. If not, I'll probably like revamp everything and then probably like understand, okay, these are the things which I would need as a customer, and then probably like change it accordingly. I always wanted to be closer to the customer and make sure that I at least provide something beneficial for the customer at the end of the day. That's the reason why I chose product instead of being a project manager, a program manager, or anything of that sort. I wanted to actually solve customer issues. So I thought like, okay, fine, I'll choose this particular career where I actually be beneficial for the customer, who's me, who's you, who's everybody who's using the service or using the product. I wanted to provide something beneficial at the end of the day. It should not be like, okay, fine, I sit 8 hours together, I write and develop code, I do something, and then probably like I go out and then I don't know which customer is using it or not. So at the end of the day, I have as a PM, okay, fine, I think backwards, and then probably like from the customer's endpoint, they say that this experience is not worthwhile, I look upon it and then probably like I try to change it as a PM as well. There are 3 reasons that I think that anyone should go after product management. First thing is influence. You get to own a lot of things. It teaches you a lot about ownership. At the end of the day, you actually talk to a lot of stakeholders, and as I mentioned, it's a more visible role within the organization. You'll be the focal point in all the communications, and which happens with the engineering teams, the designers, marketing teams, and stuff like that. So you have to voice out your opinion. If it goes well, worth it. If it doesn't go well, you'll be questioned at a lot of points as well, and you'll be the discussion point in a lot of higher management meetings as well. When you go for a meeting, I would personally say that be prepared so that it helps you out in certain ways as well. Compensation. When you break into a PM role, you would be paid a lot. The starting package that I personally think in this current era is around like 14 to 18 LPA. I started as a 4 LPA when I didn't know there was a role as a product. Anybody who's trying to switch into product, or any person who's starting their career who wants to like get into product, very good time to get into this, and probably like you'll obviously get paid more. Third thing is growth, really high growth. When you break into product, you might get moved into a position as a product manager, and then probably like if you work with the same organization, you will be moved across to senior product manager or maybe head of product in some cases. Post switch, you will also be learning on a regular basis. You'll not be doing the same thing week on week. You'll try to like make sure that if customers come with a different request, you try to like enhance the overall user experience to make the customer use the product on a regular basis. Probably like there's an opportunity for you to learn each and every day as well. There are a lot of PMs who have turned into CEOs. So there's also an opportunity for a PM to actually venture into a CEO role if you develop their own product as well. So yeah, think about it when you're trying to choose this career. Also, that brings me to my second tip. Treat any project that you're working as a product to gain experience. That's what I would say. Work பண்ண start பண்ணும்போது I did not have the experience to actually work in product roles. So whatever projects that were put under, I tried to understand how products work. So I had communications with product people as well within the organization to mainly understand how product actually works, when I was trying to switch into product, what I did was I was looking these posts into LinkedIn. I was actually trying to get into a product role. At that point of time, whatever resume that I had didn't fit the correct role that I was looking out for. But yeah, like everybody does this. எல்லார்கிட்டயுமே ஒரு ரெஸ்யூம் இருக்கும். அந்த ஒரு ரெஸ்யூம் தான் எல்லா இதுக்குமே எல்லா ஜாப்ஸ்க்குமே நம்ம வந்து சென்ட் பண்ணுவோம். நம்ம வந்து கொஞ்சம் கூட ட்வீக் பண்ண மாட்டோம். Later understood that this is one of the main things that I had to do for my resume. So what I did was I took all the points that were not product related and I actually changed them in my CV to actually address the product manager role or the product owner role that I was actually looking out for. So what I did was I revised all my bullet points and wrote back to product impact. What does it mean? I took all the things that were in product related, changed all the bullet points, shipped X feature that drove Y% success metric, resulting in Z% lift in the company's target goal. This is what I did. This is how I changed my bullet points and I framed it in a way that I drove product impact. If you're interested into like checking my CV that got my first product role, let me know and drop me a like or a comment in the comment section, and then probably like say CV or like type CV. I'll probably send you my free resume template so that you guys can use it. Having said that, changing these bullet points actually was beneficial for me, and that is how I landed my first product role into a FANG company as well. We have spoken a lot, so yeah, reflections about being a PM. I know in your 20s or in your late 20s you gain a certain amount of experience. Everybody does that. எல்லாருமே வந்து ஒரு 25 plus ஒரு enough amount of experience வந்து groom பண்ணி வச்சிருப்பாங்க. ஸோ அப்போ வந்து எல்லாருக்குமே ஒரு ப்ரெஷர் இருக்கும். நம்ம வந்து கரெக்டான கரியர் சூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோமா, இல்ல நம்ம வந்து ஒரு தப்பான கரியர் சூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோமா. எல்லாருமே நம்ம ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாருமே வந்து in high paying jobs or like making sure that okay fine they are doing well in life. First things first, never ever compare yourself to another person, because everybody's race is different. Some people might get 10 steps ahead. Maybe you're doing it slow, but you're doing it right. So that's what I would say. When you have that slight doubt whether you will be successful in the current thing that you're doing, or whether you have chosen the right career or anything of that sort, because I'm a living example. So I failed a lot of times in the beginning. Yeah, later on I realized that okay fine, this is not what I want to do on a regular basis. This is not how I want to structure my career. So I got into a lot of things, understanding how things work. This is how I want to like choose my career and stuff like that. I learned it in the hard way. But nonetheless I think I found my right career path that I wanted to do for the next 5 to 10 years, or maybe start my own product and be a CEO at some point of time. Okay, the number one reason that I feel that in a way a PM role, there is always, I mentioned previously, there's always an opportunity for you to grow and also learn as well. At many moments this role will be very challenging. நம்ம ஏன்டா இந்த வேலையை எடுத்தோம் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி you will start questioning yourself as well. But the fact is, it's all for the good. If you really like to actually resolve customer issues at the end of the day, and then see that okay fine, you can probably like be beneficial for someone for which you have launched something into the user space, you'll be pretty happy about it at the end of the day. So that's what motivates me in a job that I look forward to on every Monday, because I know there is going to be calls stacked up in my calendar, Outlook, and there's going to be tons of emails from engineering, UX, and probably like other people as well. But yeah, apart from that, at the end of the day, you're trying to be in the customer's shoes and trying to resolve something for the betterment of your customer. So that is something which I look forward to in a role, and that the product management role actually offers for everybody who's trying to like work closely with the customer and then probably like trying to change their behavior, user experience on the whole, using their platform or using the feature, using the product or anything of that. That's something which I felt that okay, I wanted to do. And yeah, probably this understanding will come to everybody at some point of time. எல்லாருக்குமே அந்த ஒரு slight motivation இருக்கும். ஓகே, நம்ம வந்து மண்டே போறோம் வேலைக்கு, ஓகே ஃபைன், I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So அந்த மோட்டிவேஷன் இருக்கணும்ன்றது என்னோட பர்சனலான ஒப்பீனியன். So yes, other people might differ, but yeah, this is something which I felt. And that's it for today's video, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed it, learned something. Let me know if you guys would love to know about how I framed my CV. I can probably do another video about how I framed my CV and how I got hired into a fan company. That CV will be helpful for a lot of people who's trying to get a job. Do let me know in the comments so that I'll do a video about it, or drop a like, because it might go a long way. If you feel this video was beneficial, educational, and you learned something at the end of the day, please do let me know in the comments. That's all for today. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay happy, stay dapper, stay safe. Peace.